From a sunny Haslam practice field, Brent, Tennessee not able to practice the first part of practice that we get to see out here. It's sunny now, but was not sunny this morning. Was sprinkling, raining, so they elected to go inside. COVID protocols by Tennessee don't allow media in the building for inside practices, so we weren't able to see practice today. But after practice, we did get to meet up with Jerry Mack, Cedric Tillman, Darnell Wright, and Jalen Hyatt. Your overall impressions of what Coach Mack had to say?
Well, I mean, like everybody except for Rodney Garner, all of his guys have done well. Rodney's the only one that said some people aren't doing real well. But Coach Mack was very pleased with where his group is overall. The one guy that he was not trying to hide his enthusiasm about is Tyon Evans, and we've talked about Tyon and how different he is this fall compared to spring. One, he's healthy. But you mentioned this back in the summer. We were talking about this. I think we talked about it in the chat. We've talked about it in podcasts and things. To visit with him this summer, you got a sense he was in a little different place physically and mentally, and it's clearly shown off this fall.
Yeah, I mean, he's been really, really productive in practices when we've not been around. He's I think really a kind of assumed, I won't say a true leadership role, but a different role than he had in the spring, where he was kind of just trying to fill it out and get a feel for everything that is Tennessee, whether it be practice, academics, all that stuff. So, Tyon's starting to really kind of get his feet underneath him and see where they go. As for Jalen Hyatt, kid's got high expectations. He expects to make plays. He expects to really thrive in this offense.
Well, and I think the thing for Jalen is going to be, and he talked about this a little bit, he's got to prove to people that he's more than just a guy who can run. Okay, and what that means for him is he's got to win at the line of scrimmage from a physical standpoint. If he struggles to win at the line of scrimmage physically, he's going to have a tough year because he's going to get a lot of press man coverage. So his challenge is to be more physical than he was a year ago. He knows that, and he's anxious and ready to prove to people that he's more than just a fast guy playing receiver.
Darnell Wright was over 360 when he came back from the COVID break last year. Now weighs 322, says it keeps going down by the day because they're in fall camp. He just looks so much better. He looks happier. He looks more comfortable. I think part of that is he's in his old number 58. He's back at left tackle, which is what he played in high school and what he wanted to play when he got here, but they put him on the right side. And I think he just kind of likes Coach Ellerby.
Well, and I think he feels better, okay? When you're carrying that much less weight, you got to feel better.
Yeah.
You got to gain more confidence out of that. Remember this. I mean, he was heavy coming out of COVID. He was heavy when he arrived as a freshman. He's never played in shape. He's never played a college football game where you would deem, quote, he's in shape when you think about it. Never really got there his freshman year.
No.
Was thrown into play. Last year was not in shape. Now he's in shape. Now he's playing better. He's got a little more confidence going. He's certainly got to play better. I think that's for this team, for this offense tomorrow, it's as big a day for the offensive line as it is any other position. I know everybody's going, well, what about quarterbacks? What about quarterbacks? You got to win up front. They've got to play better up front, Austin, than they played in the first scrimmage and then what they played this fall camp. They haven't been terrible. They just got to be better.
So many of their mistakes from scrimmage 1, pre-snap penalties, can they eliminate those tomorrow heading into scrimmage 2? We've got all the interviews up on VolQuest. He's Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price.